When I was too young, like when I was little, I used to live in Minnesota, back in the United States. Yeah, life was really good because all the attention was on me, and yeah, it really felt like, yeah, I was having like the best moments over there. We traveled from the United States, and we came to Kenya. Like we visited there. Yeah, I started walking around the streets like that easy. Um, First day was a little bit tough. First days, like let's say the whole time in the streets, and it just kept getting worse. Like you're trying to talk to people, everybody else treating you different.
It happened that I was working in Dumpsite. One day I went to in town and met this boy, and the boy was rapping, and I loved the way he was rapping because I was so into rapping scene. I talked to him and I hosted him, and I decided, yo bro, where you from? But first of all, I asked him in Swahili because I could expect Andy to be Swahili because he was black. So I was like, yo, habari yako, and he was not getting it. So I tried to be, is this maybe a Ugandan? I don't know. So I tried to say, how are you? And he replied, nah, I'm fine. And I said, where are you from? That day my English was not perfect. It was like, just trying to to talk English. It was not that, perfect. So I talked to him, but he understand. We understand each other, and everything was cool. So I decided to take him to my place, to my memory, because I told him, if you don't have a way to go, maybe I can host you in my mother's house, in our place. So maybe if someone come, he will find you here. This is Andy. Andy, bro, you need to work up.
Sometimes life doesn't go as we imagine. It twists and turns, taking us to unexpected places. Andy, an American born and raised in the United States, never thought his teenage years would land him in a remote village in Kenya, far from the life he once knew. Andy doesn't fully understand how he ended up here. His current reality is a far cry from what he envisioned for himself, working at a dumping site, living among struggling families, and hustling daily just to make ends meet. Yet, here he is, navigating this new chapter with grit and determination. Andy's story has captured the hearts of many Kenyans, becoming a sensation covered by countless media outlets. But Andy isn't alone. By his side is his loyal friend, John Kamau. Together, a bond stronger than most. The two spend their days hustling for food, often battling hunger and homelessness. But what led Andy, a man from a nation brimming with opportunities, to find himself stranded in Kenya? What could have happened that forced someone to leave the American dream behind and live as a street boy in a foreign land?
My name, Andrew Reagan. Oh, so when I was too young, like when I was little, I used to live in Minnesota, back in the United States, and then I was in a foster home. Like my mom probably took me there when I was like a year or 2 years, when I was just too young, so I don't remember so much about her. And then most of my like so young life, like preschool, I lived in the foster home, and then I had this foster parents coming in like when I was around 4 years. So they would come in, talk to me, like see me around the place. That we would go out and come back in, but I was still living there. But when I was around 7, we moved from the foster home and I moved to their place. And yeah, like they took good care of me. We lived a really good life. I made like a new family and friends, but okay, at that point I was the only child in the house, so yeah, life was really good because all the attention was on me, and yeah, it really felt like, yeah, I was having like the best moments over there. And then at some point, my dad lost his job like in Minnesota, so we moved out from that place and we had to go to California. Like I had a white mom, like he had a white wife, so we moved to California where the whole extended white family was, and yeah, that was where things started going south. I had all this racist thing coming in. Life became a little bit uncomfortable, and it kept growing. So I had fights with the rest of the family, and then I would feel like so much neglected, and yeah, so it kept growing worse and worse with time. I would talk to my dad and tell him, hey, I'm getting into problems with the other kids, like this is what they're doing to me, they're talking to me like I don't belong here, you gotta be somewhere else, like did you find yourself here? But then, okay, he would talk like it's a conservative thing, but he wouldn't seem like he was gonna help me much. So he would be like, okay, I'm gonna tell him to stop or something of the sort. But he wouldn't do so much to tell him, or he would just say it so you'd hear like he did it. But then it would just keep going, and they wouldn't do something that would make him stop it. So we started falling apart. Like we started being so distant. Like when I went to school, and then this feeling was already getting into me. I was just feeling like I don't really belong like I used to. So like life is so different. Like everything just changed completely. I started becoming introvert. I didn't like it talking to people. I was like, I would be sitting with, like, I would be thinking anybody else, like in school or at home, would be treating me the same way. So you'd be like, you just want to be alone. You want to do a lot of things alone and all that. So at some point, my dad and had his mom sick, like back here in Kenya. So that was around 2016, and then we came to visit. Like he came to see his mom because yeah, she was very sick, and she was requesting like, I want to see my son and all that. So we traveled from the United States, and we came to Kenya. Like we visited their place, like their home. We were there for like 2 months. Yeah, I met new friends there. Everybody else was talking different loud. Now I met like more African friends there. Like we had like 5 of the kids from that place, and then that was me right there. So here I met new friends. We were talking and all that. Not so much because a lot of them would be talking a different language, and they wouldn't seem like, okay, they enjoyed the conversation, but they wouldn't seem like they want to do more than that, or they can do it conveniently. So but it was a nice experience. So after the 2 months, that things didn't go well for the mom and all that. So she passed, and we were supposed to be going back to the United States. But then, okay, the whole process of us falling apart, like as a family, I think they thought I shouldn't be going back with them to the United States, but they wouldn't just tell it to me directly. And they did something really bad. When we were supposed to be going back to the airport, they gave me a different cab. We had 2 of them. One was full, like, we had a lot of people coming from the place. So the one I knew most of these people, like, this is my dad and the mom and the other siblings. But then they told me you gotta use the other one, but we're gonna meet, like, later on when we get to the airport. So we got close, like, close to the airport, and this guy was like, this is where your dad told me, like, I should drop you right here, and then you're probably gonna meet up, like, in the next couple minutes. A lot of my stuff was not where I was, it was in the other vehicle, so, like, the other cab I was using. I was waiting there for a lot of, like, I waited for long, and I was hoping, like, okay, they would come, but then it was, like, over 30 minutes, and you're starting to think maybe they're not coming, or maybe they lost it, or like, but this guy said you should be sticking around this place. So I was like, I don't know what happened, but okay, I gotta keep waiting. And I didn't have someone to talk to over there and tell them, hey, where do I get these people and all that. So I was waiting for, it was now over like 2 hours. And then he was like, okay, things are not going to go really as I expected or as I was thinking. So maybe things are just turning out a bit different. I waited there for long. I don't know why I waited, but I just kept waiting. I was like, maybe somebody's going to pick me or something of the sort. Maybe something bad happened to them and they're sorting it out and all that. So it got to evening, and I was still there, and I was like, okay, maybe I gotta be moving around, because it doesn't look like any of these people is like gonna come to the place I was, so I gotta keep moving and just find somewhere else to be, or because where I was wasn't even looking like it's secure enough. There were not so many people around the place. So I started walking from that place to like a different place where everyone else felt like the vehicles and all these people, like they were going towards this direction, so you gotta go with them. And that was when we last saw each other, and yeah, I started walking around the streets.
So I'm John Kamau. John Kamau. So I'm brothers to Andy. Like he's my brother, but not blood, but he's my brother to me. It's like my brother to me, and he's the person who've been living together, and I'll be taking care of him. And he's a good person though. So it happened that I was working in Dumpsite. My mom used to work in Dumpsite. So there was a day I used to go in Nairobi town, and there was a vehicle. We used to go there, to collect something to eat, some stuff to eat, because I was starving. Sometimes I have to go and find something that called satisfy my stomach. So it happened that one day I went to in town and met this boy, and the boy was rapping, and I loved the way he was rapping because I was so into rapping thing, rapping thing, because I love black black American people. By the way, I was into it, but even though I was African. Yeah, so it happened that I talked to him and I hosted him, and I decided, yo, bro, where you from? But first of all, I asked him in Swahili because I could expect Andy to be Swahili because he was black. So I was like, yo, habari yako, and he was not getting it. So I tried to be, is this maybe a Ugandan? I don't know. So I tried to say, how are you? And he replied, nah, I'm fine. And I said, where are you from? That day my English was not perfect. It was like, just trying to to talk English. It was not that, perfect. So I talked to him, but he understand. We understand each other, and everything was cool. So I decided to take him to my place, to my memory, because I told him, if you don't have a way to go, maybe I can host you in my, in my mother's house, in our place. So maybe if someone come, he will find you here.
So after the first 2 weeks, that was when I met a friend, like a brother who was really, like, he really really listened to me. Like that was the first time I was sitting down with someone, and they was like they were gonna take their time, listen to my story. Hey, I was like, it's not like I wanted to be here. I don't know what really happened to the people I was with. Nobody's been looking for me and all that. And then he was like, he could really, like, he could help me, and he liked how he talked. He was trying to talk to me in a different language. Okay, I'm like, I can't get what he's saying, so he had to switch it up. And yeah, we just kind of got in touch with each other from the word go. So we talked, and then he said he was gonna like move me to his place, and I could stick around his place for as long as I could until someone tries to like look for me or anything, which I knew was not a possibility after all that had happened. And I was thinking back to what happened before, and maybe it was something that was growing, and that would be the result, like sometime, man, sooner or later on. So I moved in with John. I was at his place. Everything else, first time was difficult, but then this place was way better than the street. So okay, it looked like I had a shift, like I had someone to talk to, like, hey, I'm feeling this way and all that. And then he introduced me to the work he's doing, and yeah, we've been doing well until this point.
Andy finished high school, even me, I finished high school, but I didn't proceed. We didn't proceed, so we decided to do a lot of work in Dumpsite, some construction, any kind of work we do, so to get what you can consume to the day. And it happened that we were living in a horrible place, in a cave, and it was not cool. And the way I'm talking English, that Andy was been teaching me how to speak English, because I was not good in English. I was so bad. So, but as Andy has been a good teacher to me, and everything is cool. So I can speak English, even though my English is not perfect. It is not cool like him. The way he talk, he's rapping, everything like me. I cannot talk like that. I have to be like chill, so I can know what I'm going to say. So me and Andy did, but Andy's a good teacher. So it happened that we've been working, trying to push ourselves to in TikTok.
Despite their struggles, Andy and Kamal have formed an unbreakable family-like bond. Remarkably, Kamau now speaks fluent English, better than many Americans to everyone's amazement.
I just wanna touch you in my bed. Wanna make you feel better. Oh, better. Wanna touch you in my bed.
The pair has impressed many with their resilience and camaraderie, but their challenges run deep. They grapple daily with unemployment, hunger, and even the loneliness of struggling to find meaningful relationships. Amid the turmoil, Andy still clings to his dreams.
Sometimes we can go and you cannot get anything at that day. Maybe they're saying that, bro, today is not work today. Maybe you have to, another time. And sometimes we have to go live. And people maybe live, people think that when you go TikTok live, you can get money. It is so hard. Maybe you have to stay there in a couple of hours in order to get some. And sometimes you cannot even get anything. So it depends. Okay, sometimes it's about your luck. You can come today, you get maybe you are 3K, and sometimes you can go live, and sometimes you can get nothing. So it depends, okay? And it's been challenging because sometimes right now we want to to save some money so we can stay at our business, small business, our podcast, focus on our things and our talent that we want to do. But for now, life it have changed a little bit. But so we just in a journey, so our future could be at least better, and that is cool because we've been praying every day. We are Christian, yeah. But sometimes going to church it's been a little bit hard to us. But we're gonna go. We have been going to church. We've been praying for ourselves. Yeah.
Well, right now, life is changing a little bit. We were in a different place. We moved into a different place. It's a little bit better, or we can say way better than the other place, because the other place was really, really bad. But we can't say we really have something like we are doing. So a lot of stuff we've been doing was like going live on TikTok. That's where we mostly get whatever we take for dinner and all that. We have like some people coming in saying, I saw your interview somewhere, and they're talking to you and they're like, hey, I can send you dinner, or so they've been sending some small amount that could be keeping you moving, but that was mostly during the first day. So the calls are a little bit less nowadays. And hey, I saw your story. But yeah, so we don't really have something like a job or anything that we've gotten in touch with that we are doing really.
Yeah. John Kimeu. Oh, we are not. But make sure that you tap the screen. Oh, bro, people are not even giving us some money.
Amid the turmoil, Andy still clings to his dreams. He envisions returning to the United States someday to start a new chapter.
Well, I said I'm gonna go back to America sometime, like in the near future, possibly. But then I'm thinking I don't want to go there I want to go there as myself, like. With whatever I've been doing lately, I'm just hoping I could build myself and just become a better person and all that. So I could go to America, but just not right now. I'm working on my passport already. The whole thing is on process, but I'll go, but just not right now.
He dreams of becoming the world's best rapper.
I needed some shit with some bop in it. I flew past the whip with the blind in my mouth with the swabbing. That whip had a cop in it. My bitch got the pussy flying.
However, with countless hurdles in his path, Andy can only hold on to hope that life will improve. Kamau, on the other hand, amazes everyone with his command of Swahili, embodying their shared ability to adapt and survive against all odds.
Oh, mimi ni Swahili. Swahili kamili. Swahili ni lugha changu. So by the way, mimi ni Mswahili. Mimi naongeanga Ngoso sometime. Napenda kuongea Ngoso juu naweza interact na people in the world.
When Mutembe TV documented their story, it shed light on the depth of their struggles, lack of food, joblessness, and an uncertain future.
Yeah, so for those who want to support me, follow my accounts online. My account goes by Kenyan Andy. Kenyan ANDY everywhere, like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, yeah, everywhere else. Just search for Kenyan Andy and you can give me a follow. I've been working on my music. We had a couple volunteer producers who got me to like 2 or 3. Like I got 3 songs out now. Working on my video quality. Like I've not been able to get one just clean video because it needs like 30,000 or something just to get a good video, like good video for your song. So I haven't really been able to get there, but yeah, I mean I would be glad if I would get there sometime.
Yeah, mimi kwa in TikTok, people know me as John Kamau. John Kamau. In Instagram, John Kamau. On YouTube, John Kamau Wadando, because I live in Danda. Unajua ukisa John Kamau YouTube, John Kamau anajileta wengi. Sasa ukisema John Kamau Wadando itajileta. Lakini ukienda kwa TikTok, sema useme tu John Kamau alafu ingie kwa YouTube straight inajileta John Kamau TikTok. People know me. Yeah, and pia bado kwa pia kwa nambari kama you just feel like kijana ameniguza roho. Oh my lord, I want to help this guy. Yeah. So my number is 01. Sasa inaanza na +254. Alafu inaingia 115 94 26 19.
Thank you for watching. I am David Sirengo, and this is Mutembe TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next story.
Coming from the bottom when that was always part of the plan. Struggling to impress, so they came me handy and in plan. The hard time for lesson, I was always prepared for that. Some thought I'd get subdued, they probably can't save their vows. Probably a missile look like my tableau. They said you can never pull that. But I stayed focused, ready to wrestle like nobody saw it coming. This was a disguise and a blessing. I wasn't ready for the flip. Wanting ready to send a message, kept asking if that was a need. Mama's boy kept coming at me and showed him how unimpressed I was. All the wonder was leading me like I lost social lightning jungle. How much energy you got from me? That was almost getting me fumble. When they say tough times never last, seems like I was there to rewrite that. Down in the jungle, I happened to be prey, the one that turned into predator. Just came up one day and told them I also got something to put down. The response was impressive, so to God I never saw it coming. They asked for a rematch, it happened, I wasn't still fulfilling. Like whatever you say, dang, up in the streets, you always gotta say more than that. And explain it, it's the worst thing that you wanna do is say the back that out from the word go. Your guy Paul struggling for the stage, I can't relate, couldn't let it go. Not with the sign of pointing and ray and count the shame.
I was living alone, on a minute alone, and you let me die, you let me die. Where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to go? My lover just left me. I got nobody to love me, oh Lord. I think I'm alone. I just need somebody to love me.